Hello guys, and thank you for watching this video lecture. So in this lecture, we want to go for conditional statements. Decisions, and decisions. In programming, just like in our life, we constantly make choices. In Python, conditional statements allow our code to think and act based on different situations. This tutorial explains how to use if, else, and Elif statement in Python for decision making. These are conditional statements that allow our program to execute different blocks of code based on specific conditions. Let's dive into the logic behind if, else, and Elif in Python. So, the if statement evaluates a condition. If the condition is true, the code block under the if statement will be executed. For example, we want to check whether a number is positive. N is equal to 10. Then we say if n greater than 0, column, enter. We should care about this space indentation. Then print this number is positive. So we can see the result here. This number is positive. Then we have else statement. So let's change this one. For example, minus 10 then says nothing because we don't have else statement here. So let's add one else statement. Then we say else column again, then print the number is not positive, right? So you can see here, this time the number is not positive is printed. It means this block of code will not be executed. Then also we have something called as Elif. Elif is short for else if statement, and it allows us to check additional conditions if the previous if or Elif condition are false. So, for example, we want to classify a number as positive, negative, or zero. In here, we say that if number n is greater than 0, print the number is positive. Then here we say if n is less than 0, then we should write the number is negative. Then here the last statement is otherwise print the number is 0. So let's see. So the first statement, the first conditional statement is not correct, so this will be ignored. The second one is correct, the number is negative, and the third one will not be executed. So if I change this one to 0, then you can see the last one will be executed. If I change it to 2, the first one will be executed. Also, we can go for nested statements, nested if statements. We can place if statements inside other if statements for more complex logic. For example, for the previous one, we say if n is greater than 0, then print the number is positive. The number is positive. Then if n mod 2 equals to 0, then print the number is also even, right? Otherwise, so this else goes back to this if. Otherwise, we should print that the number is not positive, right? So you can see the number is positive and also even. For example, I change my number here and I say n is equal to minus 2. These two conditions will be ignored and the last one will be. Or I can say 3. So only the first one, the number is positive. This one will not be executed. Or you can say it doesn't matter how large is your number. So you can say the number is positive and the number is also even. Then we can go also for multiple Elif conditions. We can use multiple Elif statements to handle several possible conditions. For example, we can assign a letter grade based on score. You can see here, for example, score is equal to 95. Right? Then we say if a score greater than or equal to 90, then print grade A. Otherwise, if a score greater than or equal to 80, print grade B, right? Can add some column here, grade B. Elif a score greater than or equal to 70, then print grade C. Elif a score greater than 60, D, otherwise F. So you can see here A. I change this one to 85, it will be B. 75, it will be C. 65, it will be D. And 55, it will be F. So this is multiple if conditions. We also can combine conditions with logical operators. We can use and or not to combine conditions. For example, we have n equals to 15. Then we say if n greater than 0 and this is a logical operator and n is less than 20, then print the number is between 0 and 20. Then otherwise else print the number is outside the range of 0 and 20. Okay, so in here the number is between 0 and 20. If I say 25, then the number is outside the range of 0 and 20. We can check whether a number is very high or very low. For example, n is equal to minus 100. Then we say if n is greater than 100 or n is less than, for example, 100, less than 99, slide. So I change this one to 1000 and less than 100, then less than minus 100, then print the number is extreme. Otherwise, else print the number is not extreme. You can see the number is extreme. And if I move it, bring it in plus 1000, if also extreme. But if I change it to 10, for example, say the number is not extreme. So we can go for some other application of if conditions. For example, we want to simulate a login check. Username is equal to Jack, and password is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Then if username is equal to Jack and password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, print access granted. Else print access denied. So in here we check whether the user can log in or not. Also we can check only if the username is wrong. For example, Elif username is not equal to Jack, Jack, then I should print here, print invalid username, right? So this one should not be here. So access granted. And in here, if I change this one to 1, then it says invalid username, right? These can change the conditions. We should take care of correct indentation. For example, if I remove this one, there will be an error, right? If I remove this one, there will be error. So you should care about the correct indentations. Another issue is overlapping conditions. So for example, for this case, if I say, for example, for this case, if I say the score is 95 and I say if score is greater than 80, then you should write here good. And if it's greater than 90, then you should write here excellent. What happens here? There is some problem because in this case 95 is greater than both of them, right? So you can see it will see good, but it should be excellent, right? This is called as overlapping conditions. This one will never be executed because this one here is already satisfied the condition. So we should care about the overlapping conditions. So in this case, if I change this one to 90 and this one to 80, then I change excellent to here and good to here. Then let's see what happens. So excellent. If I say 89, then it's a good. So there is no overlapping here. Then we can go for ternary operator. This is a shorthand for if-else in a single line. For example, n is equal to 10. For example, n is equal to 10. Then I say if n greater than 0, then result is equal to positive, right? Else result is non-positive. Then I can say print result, right? So positive. Then I can write the same code using ternary equivalent. Well, how? Result is equal to positive if n greater than 0, otherwise non-positive. See, this is how we can do it. Then here we can print the result. So this is easier way compared to this one. We can also go for chain comparisons. Python allows chaining comparison operator, making condition more concise. We want to check if a number is in range. For example, x is equal to 15. Then in the traditional way, we say if x is greater than 0 and x less than 20, then we print that x is between 0 and 20, right? So x is between. But in chain comparison, we say if x is between 0 and 20, then print x is between 0 and 20, right? Sorry, here 20. Then x is between 0 and 20. We can use if with in for multiple value check. Efficiently check if a value is in a set of options. So in the traditional way, we say day is equal to, for example, Monday. Then here we say if day equals Monday, then we say print start of the week, then we say Elif day equals Tuesday, then you print second day of week, then we say Elif day equals Wednesday, print midweek, right? This is the traditional way, right? But we can use in with tuple. So we say if day in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, then print f string day, then is a weekday, right? Else print if day is not in the checked weekdays, right? So there is some problem here. This one should be here. You can see Monday is a weekday. If I change this one to Friday, then Friday is not in the check weekdays. We also can go for short circuit evaluation with and or. Python evaluates logical expression lazily. So for example, numerator is equal to 10 and denominator is equal to 0. So without short circuit, we should go for if denominator is not equal to 0, then result will be equal to numerator denominator. Then we say else result is equal to undefined, right? Here we go. Then here we can print the result, right? So undefined. If I change this one to 1, then here should be result. If I change this one, it will be 10. If I change one to 2, it will be 5, right? So I will change it to 0 and I will go for short circuit. So in here we say result is equal to denominator is not equal to 0 and numerator divided by denominator or undefined. So this is an easier way that we can print it compared to this one, this traditional way. So next one, we can go for dictionary-based conditionals. We replace Elif chain with a dictionary for lookup-based logic. For example, in the traditional way, I show you how to calculate a grade for a school, right? In here, right? So I want to change this one. Let's go for here. For example, I say grade, I will go for a dictionary. Grade range is equal to what? I will go for here. 90 for A, then I say 80 for B, and 70 for C, 60 for D, right? And I remove this one. Then I say grade is equal to next value for threshold, then value in sorted grade underscore range that we defined dot items. Then here we say reverse is equal to true. Reverse is equal to true if a score is greater than or equal to threshold. Right? Then we print if grade. So there is some error here because parenthesis does not match. So we have one here, and I think we should remove these two here. So it's okay. So you can see what is our grade. So let's see here. So score is equal to, for example, 60. It will give us D. A score is equal to 50. It will give F. A score is equal to 99. It will give us A, right? So what we did here, first we defined the grade range in terms of dictionary. This is key, and these are values for each key. A for 90, B for 80, C for 70, and so on. So in here we sorted this function will return a list of tuples of threshold and grade. This sorts the dictionary in descending order based on threshold value. Then here we had some function next. This is a generator expression. It iterates over the sorted grade threshold. It finds the least, like highest threshold where a score is greater than threshold. So then based on this one, it will return us the corresponding grade. Then we can go for conditional assignment with wireless operator. This, you remember, this is called as wireless operator. So this is introduced in Python 3.8, and wireless operator assign and evaluate in one step. So in the traditional way, for example, we say data is equal to input. This input is when we want to receive something from the keyboard. So we say enter a number. It means we ask the user to enter a number. Then we say n is equal to float, then data, right? And then we check if n is greater than 0, then we print if, then in here we say n and is positive, right? So let's see here. When we execute this one, it will ask to enter a number and wait for our entry. So I say 2, we say 2 is positive. Okay, but with wireless operator, I can write in this way: if number, then wireless operator float, then we say input, enter a number is greater than 0, then print f number is positive. So the same, and it will do for us. So it is easier way. Another one in here is pattern matching with match. I will explain how this match works. In the traditional way, for example, we say S is equal to 404. Then we say if S is equal to 200, then, for example, message is equal to OK. Then we say if S is equal to 404, then message is equal to not found, right? Then we say Elif S equals to 500, then we say message equals to what? For example, server error, right? Then finally we say else message is equal to, for example, unknown, right? So then we can print our message, then you can see not found, right? If I change it, for example, to 200, then it will say okay. If I change it this to 500, say server error, and if I change it this to 800, say unknown. So using match, you can do like this: match, then I say s, then case. If case is 200, then you should write what? Message is equal to okay. Another case is 404, then message is equal to what? Not found. Another one case is 500, then I say message equals server error. In here, and this is the last one, else I say case underscore, then I say message is equal to unknown, right? Unknown. Then I can print my message, right? So here is like 200 is okay, so message is 80 here. If I change, for example, I bring this s here, then I say it's unknown. If I change it to 500, server error. If I change it to 404, then not found. And if I change it to 100, then it will be okay. And the last one is dynamic condition evaluation with eval. So these evaluate conditions dynamically from string. For example, I say x is equal to 10, then I say condition is equal to, for example, x greater than 5. Then I say if eval condition, then what? Then print f x, print f, for example, x, then satisfies the condition. And what is the condition? Condition is here. Condition is here as condition. Then I say otherwise print x does not satisfy the condition. Does not satisfy the condition. So you can see, because x is 10, then it say x satisfy the condition, right? 10 satisfy the condition. If I change this one to, for example, 1 does not satisfy the condition. Okay, so I hope you understood this lecture. It was about conditional statements in Python. Please practice and feel free to ask me your questions either by sending an email or leaving a comment below this video. Thank you for your attention.